Hello friends, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to take you along as I do my monthly chakra check-in. So there's a lot of like overall energy readings that that I'm comfortable doing for the collective, right? Because I believe that there is space in recognizing the themes that come through the tarot, and especially through my drive-through tarot. I really feel like those are like little 3-4 card draws that we can all reflect on differently, but apply them to where we are in our lives. But when it comes to a specific reading, collectively, that just doesn't make sense in my energy or my brain. That's not within my gifts when I'm getting so specific about a check-in of like the current state of our energy. So because of that, as much as I love doing these chakra check-in readings, it doesn't feel appropriate, effective, valid to check in with our chakras as a group, right? So because that's not how a chakra check-in works. So because of that, but I want to be able to see you, I want you to be able to see my process and see if this is a reading you would be interested in for yourself. I'm going to check in with my chakras for the month of August to see where they are, to see what they need, and to work through this process of my information going forward, of how I can see my chakra overview, my forecast of what I need to pay attention to coming into August. I did do a chakra reflection for July. There is a video for that up on my site, and this is what my my notes look like in my reading from my journal for July. So the first thing, I'll tell you about decks first. I am using for the overall forecast, for the overall check-in, I'm using my deck, the Narrative Alchemy Oracle, and then for guidance or how to balance those chakras, I am using the Outgrow Yourself Oracle. I always want to say like a know yourself, unfollow yourself. I have so much difficulty remembering the name of this deck. Outgrow Yourself. And when I do this, if you purchase this reading from me, you will get the reading that I will do here for myself, but you will also get a 20 minute or so guided Reiki meditation to balance what we came up with, what we saw. So you'll get the state of your chakras in a tarot reading, and then an actual balancing of that in the Reiki. So just so you know, I take care of myself. And when I finish this reading, I will go lay down and do a self Reiki practice of my own. So I'm gonna have a drink of coffee. It's almost gone. I am going to sort my deck by chakras, and then we'll get started. Alright, so my deck is sorted by color. By the way, if you have my deck, there is an error in the guidebook that my sweet friend Ashley pointed out. And I'm also making a few more charts that were not included in the guidebook, including a list of the cards, the keywords by card order, a list of which cards fall in which chakra, and then a amended correction to one of the cards that says crown in the guidebook but is actually third eye. So in the next week or so, check the landing page that's on your on the card, the place where you downloaded the guidebook. Check that in the next week or so, and you'll have some more things for yourself. So let's go ahead, and this is checking in with me, with my chakras, with what I need, and we start with the roots. Let's see if I'll probably have to do some adjusting once I get all 7 laid out to see what's in frame. Looks like one of these is actually yellow. I edge this copy so that I can see if there are cards in the wrong pile from the side as I go. So checking in now with my sacral chakra. Checking in with my solar plexus. With my heart. With my third eye. No, my throat. I got excited. Now we have my throat. And finally, checking in with my crown. Now again, the cards that come from this initial reading that come from my deck is the current status. So just to check in, not what is needed, but what's currently is. So for my root chakra, my sense of belonging, stability, my physical health. Oh, I have origin. I am feeling a tug, feeling a pull to get back to let all of the stress, the insecurity, the unknown from the last 2 years, to some degree for the last decade, if I'm being really honest. I've held so much worry about career, profession, who I am. I've been really trying to, even outside of the pandemic, which has caused me to question, like, am I an extrovert? And then all of the work I'm doing with my inner child, like, as questioning like so much about who I am. Thinking about, instead of like being really intentionally focusing on the excavation, like the result of the excavation, not so much the excavation that I'm doing. Really allowing all of these assumptions that I've made about myself to get out of my way and going back to who I really am. And what that means about how I belong, where I belong, and how I belong. That really, this is like I love you, High Priestess. This is completely the focus of all of my work right now, personally. And I love that showed up in my root chakra. So in my sacral chakra, my sense of joy and creativity, I have play. And I love this. This really speaks to some of the inner child work that I'm doing right now as well. And letting it be fun, letting it be easy, not having it all, it doesn't have to all be serious. I can play with my cards, I can play with my fabric, I can play with, with what I read. I can get to this origin point without it having to be super serious. And I just see this as such a clear validation of how I'm doing my root chakra work. For my solar plexus, for my sense of purpose and power and profession. Of course I have transition. I mean, I feel like I'm at a point to where what I'm doing, what I thought I wanted, is no longer going to work the way I know how to work it. And I'm in the spot of deciding, do I learn new things to do what I love, or do I let what I love matter less financially and devote more to the mobile job? I see this not as something, I'm in transition. I don't feel like this is something that I need to resolve. I feel like this work will lead to a natural, clear answer here. But absolutely, 100% in transition in how I think about myself professionally and what my purpose is. Looking into my heart chakra, what I love, how I give and receive love. I have rumination. And this plays so deeply. This plays so deeply into all of this. Really being clear. This is the Nine of Swords, by the way. Allowing myself to pursue clarity on what truly matters, what deserves, what is valid of this deep attention for me, and what is a distraction right now. So I see this card as a clear invitation to be aware and what I ruminate on, why, and keeping my ruminations focused on what I value right now. And maybe some of my ruminations are just wasted energy. Oh, boys and girls. Moving into my throat chakra. This is how I'm experiencing truth, how I am communicating information, how I am receiving information. This is probably the card that I have been dreading the most, because this has been difficult for me. So let's see what we've got. We've got inertia. I feel stuck. The Seven of Cups. So many choices in front of me. So many choices that seem conflicting, that it's hard to make a decision. I see the Seven of Cups as an invitation to sit, kind of very similar to rumination, as a chance to, where I feel like rumination is asking me, am I looking at the right thing? This inertia, the Seven of Cups, is reminding me that I don't have to make a decision right now, that the truth can, that my perception of the truth is a process. It continues to percolate. I don't have all of the information right now. I need to let dust settle. I need to have I need to keep in mind a clearing of like decisions aren't to be made professionally in the summer because things go haywire in the summer. And to lean into, to let this inertia be, to try to get more comfortable here instead of trying to do something about it. The truth is coming, Chrissy. The truth is coming. It's okay to feel a little stagnant. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. Then moving into my third eye, my connection with my intuition, sorry, I watched a car almost hit a couch in the alley that I'm looking over. My connection with my intuition, with my deeper knowing of myself. I have Inquire. I have the Hierophant. And to me, this really shows up as this cheeky reminder that, remember, Chrissy, I'm here. Check in with me. I'm here. I don't see this as a call to any sort of action. I just see my third eye reminding me, I'm here. You can trust me. Talk to me. Okay, I see you, friend. And then finally, my connection, the state of my crown chakra, my connection to source, to my own sense of sovereignty, and to the trust that I build, the trust that I'm building on myself and source to co-create the life that I'm meant to lead. And here we have transformation. I have a lot to say, but I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it as trusting that the space that I feel that I'm in of wanting to come back to my origin, but being stuck in this transitory, not being able to have it right now, trusting that transformation is on the other side of this. This is an invitation to trust. And what I really see here is like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm kind of getting in my way. And this is what I need to relax into. So, what I'm doing, how I do it. Like origin and transition go together. The play is the how. Rumination is where I'm getting distracted. And then this is my support system. To not have to have all the answers, but to know where to go for the answers, and to know that all of this is for my transformation. So this is the check-in. This is the temperature reading. This is the radar. And now I'm using the Outgrow Yourself for. This is the only reading that I use these cards for, and I forget how beautifully they shuffle. So I use these cards then come along to share wisdom, to share a different way to view, to look at, to consider each of the chakras, each of these energies. How I can focus on these better, how I'm getting in my own way, what I'm not considering, all of that, and who knows what else comes up in the reflection from these cards. And this is where my reading mat gets a little crowded, and we do what we do. And I'm really feeling, this isn't typically how it works, but I'm really feeling an encouragement today to shuffle these out from the top down instead of the bottom up, and then we'll read them together. I almost always do bottom up, but this is really feeling top down today. So, root, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and roots. I know I may be out of frame a little bit here, but we'll arrange it as we go. So looking at my crown chakra with transformation, I have be brave. that yes, this process is going to require a lot of me, but the most important thing is to be brave. And if I am walking through, if I am using my connection, fully my connection with Source, to step into my bravery, to step into my power again with this page type energy, with wanting, it's okay to want to know, it's okay to want to be ahead of the game, but all I'm being asked to do is to be brave. From my third eye, my sense, my connection to my intuition, here I had the reminder, just ask me. Let's see what she has to tell me, and that's to count my blessings. I see this as a reminder from my intuition that she's never led me astray. That my deep knowing is the reason that I count my blessings. My ability to go with what I see, what I know, what calls me, that this connection is what has brought so much gratitude, and to remember that when it gets hard, when it gets scary, my history tells me that she's trustworthy. Moving to my connection with my throat, with my sense of truth, and how I'm having to wait for some of that truth to show up. I don't have all of those answers yet. What I have is don't just wish it. So making it happen. So what an interesting dichotomy here. Looking at the Seven of Cups being like, sit with it until you got it. But the Knight of Swords telling me, don't just wish it, go get it, make it happen. So this to me just talks about a lot of seeking clarity. When I'm missing it, how do I find it instead of waiting for it? So I see this as an invitation to really up my journaling practices, to be more casual but frequent with my use of cards. This really just speaks to yeah, you don't have the answers yet, and yes, they're coming, but that doesn't mean that you just sit on your hands and wait for them. For rumination, for my heart chakra, for where I am focusing my attention, where I am, what is valid of my attention versus what is unimportant worry. I have stay away from instant gratification. So not making the choice that is easy. To me, this feels very much like a Two of Pentacles energy, the way that I'm really leaning into the Two of Pentacles lately. And again, this is thought based. I don't know what tarot card this is based off of. But this feels very much like thinking about both the long term and the short term when I make decisions, thinking about both the impact on me and the impact on my marriage. So this whole like now and later, micro, macro, within, without, keeping all of those dichotomies, keeping all of those in mind when I'm deciding where to place my attention, and not letting what is comfortable today mean more than my long-term intentions or goals or priorities. With my solar plexus, this sense of recognizing I am professionally, with my sense of purpose, with my sense of power in this place of transition. The guidance that I have here is trust and rest. So this is Prudence as the Hangman, which I keep getting so often from the Tarot Volatile that I am honestly wondering if like there's something wrong with the card and there's something that's like that it's catching my hands that I keep drawing it. So this is really funny that I received this in like the professional reading, because I really feel like a lot of the work that I'm doing in my lower chakras is to really clarify my sense of purpose and how my interpretation of myself is getting in the way of truly being able to see who I am and why I'm here. But that's another story for another day. So again, this really is falling into this, like, the support is coming from, like, what to do is coming from my higher chakras, and my lower chakras are just the state that I'm in. So within all of this, allowing my sense of this professional piece, allowing that to rest for now. I'm in transition, but that is not where my attention is being asked to go right now. Trusting that the transition that shows up here will be an after effect, will be a consequence isn't the right word, that makes it sound negative, but that will be a natural conclusion. A natural decision will come to this part through this other work that I'm doing. So this is something that will happen naturally through this work. My solar plexus, even though it's loud, the way that I manage that energy is not by working on the solar plexus itself, it's by working on what is around it. My sacral chakra, my sense of joy and play, as the card said. What I'm being invited to look at here is to reach my full potential. How much can I play? How much fun can I have? How can I let this process, this deep process of coming back to my origin, of acting on what I learned, how can I make this as fun as possible? I'm sitting with that one. And then finally, from our root chakra, we have origin. We have the high priestess coming back to my blueprint, my sense of self, my sense of who I was before the world told me, showed me what they thought I needed to be. And here we have the Chariot. I am allowed to grow. And I think it's so interesting how we think about growing up, where this work is obviously asking me to grow in, to grow back, to root in. And that by this growing in, I reach my potential. I embrace my inner child in the sense of play. I'm able to trust and rest in my professional life. Not so much trust and rest with what I'm doing, but trusting and resting to not feel like this is where my answers need to be. Where my thinking is getting distracted is instant gratification. When it comes to my feelings of stuckness and inertia, that's fine. I get to figure things out, but I can't expect them to just happen. I have to do the work to do it. When it comes to recognizing that my third eye is present and important, I'm asked to remember all of the times that she has not led me astray. And then this sense of transformation with Source. I have a reminder to be brave, that I am never alone. So friends, I'm going to bring my little Betty Happy into the reading as we close. As I receive this energy from this lovely reading, as I take this with me throughout the month of August. Thank you all so much for being here. It was lovely to spend this time with you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. If you're interested in a reading like this for yourself, the link is in the description below. All right, now I've got some Reiki to do. Have a great day, friends.